It's something, it's called Cern. It makes me very concerned.
Mm-hmm.
C-E-R-N. The Hadron, I think it's pronounced, Hadron Collider. Okay? It's turned on 2 days from today, so when you watch the show, it's already on, unless they have a breakdown. Do you want to tell the people what it is? I have pictures. There's one. There it is on the screen.
Yeah.
This is the biggest machine in the world. How many until today did not know about this? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Come on. That's almost 100%. 99% of this audience never heard of this. This is the biggest machine ever made in the world in history. I believe it's 17 miles long. It's in France and Switzerland. If you see a map, the map, it's a circle.
Yeah. It would be almost 5 miles across.
And the reason they buried it under the ground is because they might have an oops. And you know, back when we were testing nuclear warheads, we'd take them deep down underneath the earth because you wouldn't want to blow one of these up on the surface of the earth, right?
Right.
I'm curious how they got permission to dig that many miles under France and under Switzerland. And this is what the headline, I don't know if it's just this week, I think. This is the headline. Stephen Hawking, he called the God particle could destroy the universe. He keeps warning. He's supposed to be one of the most brilliant minds ever in history. And he keeps warning that he calls it God particles. Do you understand this at all?
Well, I
don't.
The Higgs boson is traditionally called the God particle, and part of what they want to do with the collider, it's not the only thing they're doing there, is they want to see if they can discover the Higgs boson, or the God particle. Essentially, we Christians would say they're looking for how God holds everything together. That's why they call it the God particle.
Well, I read where it's what you're made up of. And what all matter, I guess, is made up of.
That's exactly right. It's what we're made up of. It's also what's holding us together. They're trying to find Jesus, but they don't want to find Jesus. So they're trying to find what is it that holds all matter together. That's one of the things they're looking for. What Cern does, that big circle, it accelerates particles in that big circle around and around and around and around until they're traveling at just enormous velocity, and then they collide these particles together. And in that moment, it creates a moment that they think is kind of how the Big Bang started the whole universe. That's the whole purpose behind it. However, they also believe that there are parallel realities around us, other dimensions, and there could be other intelligence there. Another thing we Christians already know, right? Why not just come and ask us? You don't need to build a collider. However, there's a reason God put them on the other side of that veil, and you might not want to open the door.
No.
And here's the thing. Their own director of Cern has gave interviews to the British press in which he admits that's what they're trying to do. They want to open a door to another dimension. And he said, when we open this door, he said, something might come through it into our reality, or he said, we might send something through it into their reality. You can look that up. It's in the British press. Where the Cern was built, this is St. Genus Powili. That's the name of the township. But in ancient days, guess what it was called? It was called Apolliacum. It was literally a temple to the god Apollo, because they believed that's the gateway to the underworld.
I saw a goddess. And I was looking at all these pictures. That's her.
Shiva. Actually, they built. They have the god, the Hindu god of destruction that destroys at the molecular level, is right out in front of the offices of Cern, and it's dedicated to Shiva.
I'm going to put it on the screen. You'll show it.
It's so
because I've seen it, and I said, "This is a false god." What in? I couldn't find anything about it because I need to get some books and read a little bit more. But you go online and type in the Hadron, or you can actually type in Cern. Cern comes up with all of it as well. And all the pictures, it's the most beautiful. I mean, it's like Satan. It's the most beautiful thing. I mean, for a guy, it's like the biggest Tinker Toys in the world. I mean, it's beyond the blues, the reds, the colors in this thing. And yet, there's a goddess at the offices, where they go to work there, that build this thing. And you say, well, it's not important for us to know. It's time for the church to stop glorifying ignorance.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
That's good.
He said, I don't want that day to come upon you unaware.
Yeah.
Tom, help me out. You have a brilliant mind.
Oh, my goodness.
You have an inquiring mind, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I have a dangerous mind.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Just get in
Yes,
trouble
yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything else about that? Because I got
just-
one last
Yeah.
question,
Yeah,
then we're going
okay,
to...
just that's it, that it's named after Apollyakon, the gateway to the god Apollo. But what does the book of Revelation say? Yeah, absolutely, that an angel comes down with a key to the bottomless pit and opens that gateway. And guess who is the god down in there? The king over the bottomless pit, Apollyon, Abaddon, the king of the bottomless pit. And we're trying right there to open
Boy,
a
you're smart,
gateway
lady. Woo.
that is, yeah.
The front row lady.
Yeah,
is telling us.
I'll get her to make some notes for me. I'll use them next time.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
This
So-
is shocking.
It really-
God gave me this yesterday, said, I want you to talk about this, and asked Tom. I didn't know if Tom knew a thing about it. But God said, the
Ask-
people
yeah.
need to know.
Right.
Jim, can I say one comment here?
And I knew,
It just
John,
hit
because
me.
you know what's going on. Go
Well,
ahead.
you know, when we was talking back there, I said, you know, it sounds to me like you're describing they're trying to open the door, to the gate to hell.
Right.
Okay? Well,
Yeah.
here's the thought. God literally sealed and locked demons into the earth that would not be released until the last days. And now we have evidence that man is the one that's trying to open the door and release them.
Right. Right.
It's really crazy. It's right there in Revelation 9.
You know,
right?
if
There
I
it
was a
is.
teenager, I would
Oh.
really be excited about this. Because they love supernatural. They love all the drama.
Sasha's over here
sci-fi.
going crazy.
I really am.
she's
Honestly,
like this.
I'm listening to this conversation and I'm taking notes. Like my format is completely full. But as you're talking about the bottomless pit, I'm like, wait, we just learned this yesterday. I'm flipping to Revelation 9, reading along with what you're teaching. You're not even teaching from the Bible per se, but you're just teaching what they're doing. And I'm reading it out of my Bible, literally. This is what we talk about every day on the show when we say we're living in the Revelation times. And when you can open your Bible, read the news, and they go parallel together, these are the times we're living in.
That's right.
If you hear
That's
churches and preachers say to you one more time, we don't understand Revelation, or we don't understand Ezekiel, tell them we're learning. God's revealing.
You really
I'm
are.
tired of the cop-out. Everything in the Bible is to be revealed. You know what revelation means? Take the cover off.
Unveil.
Unveiling. It's revelation. It's to be revealing. God don't want you dumb. God doesn't want, he said, I'm not coming to you unaware. I don't want that day to come upon you unaware.